I welcome you all for Standard 7, Subject General Science. Students, we will be starting with chapter number 10, Disaster Management. My name is Ms. Jagjeet Kaur. Now students, before starting with the chapter, let us see what are the learning objectives. So students, you all will be learning about disaster and the types of disaster. Then you all will also be understanding about what is famine and what are the effects of famine, and also what is cloudburst and the effects of cloudburst. Then how are floods formed and what are the effects of flood. Then what is lightning and the effects of lightning. What is volcano and the effects of volcano. Then you will be understanding about tsunami, and also you will be understanding about storms and its effects. Students, can you tell that it is possible to prevent the loss of life caused by lightning? Correct. It is not possible to stop the occurrence of lightning. However, measure can be taken to reduce the harm caused to life due to lightning. And some of such measures are standing on open ground or below a tree or near an electric pole, telephone pole, tower, etc. should be avoided. Then leaning on wired fences around farms, compounds, gardens or house should be avoided. Then riding a two-wheeler, bicycle, tractor or a boat should be avoided. One should immediately get down and move to a safe place. Then gathering and crowding at one place should be avoided, and a minimum safe distance of about 15 feet should be maintained between two people. And use of plugged in electrical appliances or mobile phones and telephones should also be avoided, and one should stand on dry wood, plastic sheet, sack or jute cloth or dry leaves should be used for standing, and one should avoid being in water, and people should preferably stay indoors or houses which are solid and permanent. Now, can you tell that what should be done to prevent the bunds on a farm from getting washed away in the rainy season? Yes, the bunds on farms prevent the soil from getting eroded by restricting the water from flowing outside. Then, however, during the rains, the flow of water increases and can wash these bunds off. So, hence, small crops or bushes can be cultivated on these bunds, which will hold the soil together. So, thus, in this way, the bunds on the farms can be prevented from getting washed away in rainy season. Students, can you tell that why do we experience water scarcity? Yes, correct. Water is a natural resource and is available to us through rains, rivers, wells, ponds, lakes, etc. Though 71% of Earth is covered by water, most of it is found in oceans and seas and is not usable. And also the water that is available is not utilized properly by humans, leading to shortage of water. And the other reasons for water shortage include deforestation that has decreased the amount of rainfall, and the increasing population which has led to shortage of water, the pesticides and weedicides used for increasing food production, leading to the population of certain water resources, and unlimited usage of groundwater, leading to depletion of these water resources. Now, students, what is disaster? A disaster is a serious disruption occurring over a short or long period of time. that causes widespread human, material, economic, or environmental loss which exceeds the ability of the affected community or society to cope using its own resources. And disaster can be of two types, namely man-made disasters and natural disasters. And some of the disasters can be prevented from occurring while some cannot be prevented. So we need to take disasters which cannot be stopped from occurring. And famine, lightning strikes, cloudburst, storms, etc. are some of the natural disasters which occur due to changes in the weather. Now let's study about famine. Now, long-term and severe scarcity of food grains and water in a given region leads to a condition known as famine. Famines are mostly caused by natural phenomenon. However, some human activities can also lead to famine. And the main natural cause of famine is droughts. Apart from it, the other natural causes of famine include heavy rains and floods, crops getting washed away or damaged in floods, environmental changes such as temperature change, storms, cold wave or fog, then damage of crops by animals like mice and rats, attack of pest, locust or diseases of crops, and natural calamity like earthquake. The man-made causes of famine include war, internal unrest, absence of transport routes, and uncontrolled population growth. And most of the famines occur in the drought and flood affected areas, and severe famines can also cause loss of life. Asia is the most famine affected continent, and the most dreadful famines of the world have been known to occur in India and China. And some of the human actions which are responsible for famines are as follows. That is shortage of water arising due to an imbalance between rainfall and population. Then the use of chemical fertilizers, pesticides and weedicides to increase the food grain production by green revolution leading to the imbalance of environment. Then unlimited lifting of water that drains the underground sources and the misuse of water. And there are some methods which can be implemented to ease the severity of famines, and such methods are as follows. That is proper usage as well as reuse of water, then proper planning for water conservation and harvesting at local level, then large scale planting of trees and preventing deforestation, and making proper plans as per the weather forecast. Now students, let us understand about cloudburst, but before that, tell me what causes rain. Correct. Water from oceans evaporates, gets stored in the clouds and condenses as rain. And sometimes when it rains, the water coming down does not reach the land. And the high temperature near the land causes the rainwater to vaporize and form part of the cloud again. And this increases the amount of water vapor in such clouds, and later due to rapid condensation it rains suddenly over a specific and small region at a rate of 100 millimeter per hour or more, and this is known as cloudburst. A cloudburst occurred in Mumbai on 26th July 2005 was extraordinary and unforgettable. On that day, it rained about 950 millimeter, that is 37 inches in 8 to 10 hours, and the entire city of Mumbai was waterlogged and flooded. And also a cloudburst occurred at Leh, Ladakh on 6th August 2010. Now students, use your brain power to answer this question, that why shouldn't we wait at the foothill while it is raining heavily? Correct. When it rains, the water starts to flow from the top of the hill downwards. And rivers are formed due to this. And during heavy rains, the flow of these rivers increases, causing floods in areas and villages near the foothill. And also landslides occur during heavy rains at places where the hills and mountains have been cut for making way for roads and canals. So due to the above reasons, we shouldn't wait at the foothill while it is raining heavily. Students, now let's understand about floods. Flood is a naturally occurring disaster in several parts of the earth due to excessive rains in the same place and rivers overflowing their banks. And the effects of flood are huge loss of life and property, soil erosion, destruction of standing crops, spread of diseases and epidemics after floods, which affect the health of the people. And some of the protective measures which can be taken in view of floods are construction of small dams in mountainous regions, then construction of percolation tanks, flattening of riverbeds, cultivation of new forests, and connecting rivers. Students, can you tell that what causes lightning? Yes, the clouds in the sky get charged when they rub with the air surrounding them, and their upper part gets positively charged while their lower parts gets negatively charged. And when negative charge on the lower part of the cloud becomes larger than the charge on the ground, it starts flowing towards the ground in stages. And this transfer of charge happens at a very fast rate in less than a second, and heat, light, and sound energy are produced along with the electric current. And this is known as lightning. Now let's understand more about lightning. As we know that lightning occurs due to the difference in the charges of the cloud and the ground. Lightning can be generated within one cloud, between two clouds, or between a cloud and the ground. And every lightning does not strike the ground. 95% of the lightning remains limited to the sky, while only 5% of the lightning strikes the ground. And about 40 lightning flashes occur per second. A very high temperature is generated by lightning, which results in the air under high pressure to expand suddenly, and this causes the loud crashing sound of thunder. Lightning strikes on open ground more than under or near water, and proper precautions should be taken to stay safe during lightning or thunderstorm. One should avoid standing on open ground or at higher altitudes. Then avoid using electronic and electrical appliances and should stay inside the houses. So now let's understand about volcano. Volcano is a natural event or phenomenon wherein a very hot eruption comes out from the earth's crust. The interior of the earth consists of very hot substances which keep moving continuously from the interior to the earth's surface. And as a result of this activity, some solid, liquid, and gaseous substances are pushed out of Earth's crust in the form of eruption known as volcano. And volcano has following effects on the surrounding climate and the environment. Mountains and hills are created by the accumulation of chemical substances like lava, vapor, hot mud, sulfur, etc. on the surface of the earth. The ash and gases ejected by the volcano pollute the atmosphere. The hot gases increase the temperature and can cause rains. And the hot mud can bury forests and entire settlements. Also, volcanoes erupt in sea and eject the same substances as they do when they erupt on land. And due to the eruption of such volcanoes, some islands are created in the sea. And preventing eruption of volcano or stopping or controlling a volcano after its eruption is not possible. However, with the science and technology, we can predict the eruption of a volcano and hence take necessary steps beforehand. Now let's understand what is tsunami. Earthquake is the movement of the earth's surface leading to tremors, shaking and cracking up, etc. Such earthquakes as well as volcanoes occur at the bottom of the sea too and release energy which pushes the seawater upwards. And due to this, peculiar type of waves are formed which are not too high near the source but spread very fast to long distances. Such waves travel with a velocity of 800 to 900 kilometers per hour, but their velocity decreases as they reach coastal areas. However, while reaching coastal areas, their height is found to have increased tremendously, that is about 30 meters. And this wave generated by an earthquake or a volcano occurring on the ocean floor is now called as tsunami. Some of the destructive effects of tsunami are they destroy buildings and other constructions leading to large loss of life and property. Boats and ships near the coast get damaged as also trees get uprooted. Landslides also take place. Original land near the coast turns into swamps and traffic gets obstructed and large-scale damage is caused to harbors. And when a tsunami wave gets formed due to an earthquake in the sea, warning has to be issued to the people living in coastal regions immediately after estimating the progress of the wave. And artificial geostationary satellites are used for the purpose of getting this information about the tsunami wave. Now, what are storms? Storms are strong winds caused by the changes in weather due to the formation of high and low air pressure belts in the atmosphere. Storms also cause great damage and loss of life and property, and steps which can be taken to reduce the loss of life due to storms are regular cutting of trees and branches which are about to fall, then taking shelter in safe place if you are outside, then shutting the valves of gas regulators and turning off the electric supply at home, then making people aware about the probable danger of upcoming storm and advising them to go to a safer place, then giving shelter to people who are away from their homes. Now students, let's have some knowledge about the national institutions which work for the disaster reduction. Now, United Nations established a standing international organization, that is UNDP, in the year 1965. About 177 nations from all over the world are members of the UNDP. And one of the main functions of this organization is to send equipment, financial aid, and also volunteers to the place of the disaster. And international medical teams and groups of other experts are also sent. 13th October is celebrated as International Day for Disaster Reduction. So students, this was the end of the chapter. Now let us summarize what we have learned in this chapter. So we learned that a disaster is a serious disruption occurring over a short or long period of time that causes widespread human, material, economic, or environmental loss which exceeds the ability of the affected community or society to cope using its own resources. And famine, lightning strikes, cloudbursts, storms, etc. are some of the natural disasters which occur due to changes in the weather. And long-term and severe scarcity of food grains and water in a given region leads to a condition known as famine. Famines are mostly caused by natural phenomenon. However, some human activities can also lead to famine. Then the main natural cause of famine is droughts. Then due to rapid condensation, it rains suddenly over a specific and small region at a rate of 100 millimeter per hour or more. This is known as cloudburst. And flood is a naturally occurring disaster in several parts of the earth due to excessive rains in the same place and rivers overflowing their banks. We also learned that the transfer of charge happens at a very fast rate in less than a second, and heat, light, and sound energy are produced along with the electric current. And this is known as lightning. Lightning occurs due to the difference in the charges of the cloud and the ground. And a very high temperature is generated by lightning, which results in the air under high pressure to expand suddenly. This causes the loud crashing sound of thunder. Lightning strikes on open ground more than under tree or near water. And volcano is a natural event or phenomenon wherein a very hot eruption comes out from the earth's crust. The interior of the earth consists of very hot substances which keep moving continuously from the interior to the earth's surface. The wave generated by an earthquake or a volcano occurring on the ocean floor is called as tsunami. Storms are strong winds caused by the changes in weather due to the formation of high and low air pressure belts in the atmosphere. And 13th October is celebrated as International Day for Disaster Reduction. Thank you, dear students.